Alright, students, get your ass in class. My name is Rare, and I will be your substitute teacher today. If you have questions about your regular professor, well, they're kinda in the hospital right now. Those guys caught a code, so I figured I'd heat them up a bit, in the form of setting their car on fire. And, yeah, that didn't go so well. Anyway, today I will be teaching you guys how to correctly play Kinessa. Kinda. What I'm about to show you involves having fun and throwing away the mentality of always using the best loadout for a character. Seriously though, how many times have you seen a loadout video like this one?
So as you just saw, the quickscope card is by far the best loadout card that you can use on Kinessa. No matter what loadout builds that you use on Kinessa, make sure to always equip this card, especially if you want to.
Nope. Fuck you and your video. Education should be entertaining, and if you disagree, I will bitch slap you to the 4th dimension. Anywho, get your notebooks out, students. Today, we are going to be breaking some rules. First off, I'd like to mention that if I hear anyone, and I mean anyone, say that Kinessa is supposed to be a sniper, let it be known that you will be sharing the same fate as your regular professors in that hospital. I'll even get you guys bunk beds. That being said, because of the fact that Kinessa is not a sniper, at least in this class, the first thing I want you students to do is to go and unbind your right mouse button. You will not be scoping in with your weapon, and you will not be dicking around on my watch. When I play Paladins, I do not want to see any of you guys being this moron on my team. Alright, with that out of the way, the next step is the loadout that you will be using for Kinessa. I'll be explaining exactly how you will be using this loadout. Just know that while you can copy what you see on the board right now, exactly as it is, the loadout isn't based on any strict rules. You can use any cards you want as long as you avoid the bottom left corner of cards. I mean, your right mouse button isn't bind to anything after all, and as a result, those cards are going to be useless. Plus, I will murder you if I see you dicking around. I mean, set you on fire and send you to the hospital. I can't go around killing my students after all. But yeah, back on topic, you can use any cards you want, just make sure to focus on Kinessa's teleportation and crowd control abilities. The mindset here is that you're building a loadout not for sniper gameplay, but for carbine gameplay. Got it? Okay, good. Now, with your loadout ready, the next step is to learn how to play as Kinessa with this setup. First off, you're not Victor, so don't play like one. Your carbine, unlike Victor's assault rifle, has a very short range, and its DPS isn't that great, so don't charge in there head first expecting to outdamage everyone you meet. Your goal is to sneak behind your enemies and get as close as possible before opening fire. Just think along the lines of surprise butt sexing everyone and you will have the right mentality. In fact, it's actually kind of like playing as Sky, but in my opinion much more interesting because of your lower DPS and the fact that you can teleport. It shouldn't be underestimated though, because most enemies don't expect a Kinessa to be behind them, usually because in most casual games she's sitting comfortably behind her team missing every shot. I'm looking at you dickheads. But yeah, a lot of people underestimate how much damage Kinessa can actually do in close quarters combat if in the right situation and if her loadout is built correctly. With that said, there are two ways to increase your carbine's damage with Kinessa that you must remember, students, if you plan on being the scariest thing in the match you're playing. So make sure to write this down as it will be on the test. The first involves her mines. Basically, anyone that's currently being slowed down by the mines, those doohickeys, will take 30% more damage from Kinessa's carbines. Do not engage your target until they are slowed down by the mines, which will be shown by this line that represents the red string of fate, or whatever the hippies call it. Once you do slow down your target and start firing, that is 195 damage per shot, not including headshots, which will boost that damage even more. On a full clip, if you land all your shots on a slowed down enemy, that is 3,900 damage. And you can deal that much damage in 3 seconds, which is how long it takes to empty Kinessa's magazine. Get behind a squishy and punish their ass. Preferably Cassie, because I heard she has a nice body. And here's the thing, if that isn't enough damage for you, you freaking need more damage. Well, first off, I would recommend checking into a hospital because you probably have an addiction of some kind. But you also have Kinessa's ultimate, which when activated deals 50% more damage if you're aiming at the upper half of an enemy. That is 225 damage per shot for the total of 4,500 damage per magazine, not including headshots. And also, before you ask, yes, the ultimate bonus and the bonus from slowing down enemies with your mines does stack. which brings that damage to 270 damage per shot for the total of 5,400 damage per magazine. Honestly, if everything works out in your favor, you could throw a mine at an enemy, teleport in, activate your ultimate, and kill pretty much anyone in one magazine. Not to mention, if you're using the loadout build that I showed you before, you could teleport in, kill someone, and then immediately teleport out, because every time you land a shot, your teleport cooldown will refresh a little bit. Kinessa is an assassin, but not in the way people may think. To me, playing this way with her is much more interesting and entertaining than staying in the back line, missing every shot from my sniper rifle. And I hope you students will also think the same once you try out this style with Kinessa. Just be aware that you are a pseudo-assassin and your carbine's damage drops off really quickly at range. Try to stay within hugging distance of your target, because if you don't, the damage from your shots will fall off really quickly. Anyway, I gotta go now. Class is over. I hear the popo coming as well, so make sure to write everything down on the board. This will be on a test on Monday. If I'm not here on that day, just assume that you got 100 on the test, and I will see you later. Oh, and make sure to exit through the back door, as that is the polite thing to do.